come in between the thighs. You can either let your forehead come to rest on the mat, or if you prefer, you can let one cheek rest on the mat, and then about halfway through, you can let the opposite cheek come to rest. Whatever feels best for you today. And if your hips are pretty tight, it's okay. You don't have to sit with your hips directly on the heels. You can have the hips a little bit more elevated. You can even use a pillow or a block to kind of support your hips to make it a little bit more comfortable. And I want you to go ahead and just start to gently close down the eyes today. And child's pose can be a very introspective asana, a very introspective pose. So let's go ahead and use this time here at the beginning just to find a little bit of some mindful reflection on our day. To take this time to reflect on what brings us onto our mat, what brings us to our practice. See if you can let go of all of your other thoughts, any other worries that you may have. Just breathing in for 1, 2, 3, and breathing out for 3, 2, 1. See if you can take those breaths in through the nose and out through the nose. Nice, steady, even inhales. Match with steady, gentle exhales. You should feel the hip flexors just gently starting to open up, maybe relaxing a little bit more. And you soften the shoulders down away from the ears. Maybe even releasing that tension in the jaw. Just let yourself soften and melt into the mat today. Finding that connection to your breath, to your practice, to the mat. I want you to just take a moment. We're going to practice a little gratitude here at the beginning of our practice. Just with one deep breath in, I want you to think about thanking yourself for devoting this time to yourself today. You breathe out that tension, your stress. And instead, try to breathe in that thankfulness, that gratefulness for yourself, for your body, for your practice. Find that lightness in your heart, that lightness in your spirit. And see if you can let go of any negativity that may be clouding your mind today. And whenever you're ready from here, go ahead and take a deep inhale in through the nose. Slowly lift the hips off of the heels. Let's adjust into a tabletop position, bringing the knees to come underneath the hips. Let's stack the shoulders over the wrists. Find a nice neutral spinal position to start. Your gaze is down towards the earth. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let's move into a side body stretch from here. As you inhale, let's walk the fingertips over towards the left side of the room. Gently press your hips away towards the right. You should feel this stretching out across that right side of the body. If you want to get even deeper into this stretch, you can press the hips slightly towards the heels over towards the right side of the room. When you're ready, inhale, lift up. Exhale, walk the hands to the center, and inhale, walk the hands over towards the right. Exhale, gently press the hips over towards the left to stretch out across this left side of your body. And you keep the shoulders away from the ears. And if you want to get even deeper, you can press the hips even closer towards the heels. Let's inhale, lift up, and exhale. Walk back to the center of your mat. And go ahead and just take a moment. When you draw the hips back, draw them to the left, draw them forward, and then over towards the right, a nice big clockwise circle, easing up some tension out of that lumbar spine, out of the entire spinal column. And then go ahead and reverse it in the opposite direction. And then if you'd like to, you can come back to the center, maybe shake the head yes, shake the head no, using some tension out of that cervical spine. Maybe even keep wagging the tail from side to side and find that low back is really tense today. And from here, let's all return to our neutral tabletop position. The shoulders are over the wrists, the knees are underneath the hips. As you take that next breath in, can you lift through the head and heart, sink through the belly, finding your cow. And exhale, round out through the spine in the opposite direction, press it through the shoulders, tip the tailbone forward for cat. Inhale to lift through the head and heart, sink through the belly for cow. Exhale, round out through the spine, tuck the chin in towards the chest for cat. One more deep inhale to find your cow. And one more exhale to find your cat. And then we'll return to that neutral tabletop position. From here, let's plant the toes in towards the mat. Inhale, slowly lift the hips up towards the sky. Exhale, soften the heels towards the mat. And maybe take this chance to pedal out through the legs, extending one leg, bending the opposite knee. Breathe in to swap it out. And as you exhale, pedal that leg out. So with every inhale and exhale, you're just gently opening up through those hamstrings in your down dog today. And check in with the shoulders here. You should still find that you have a lot of lengthened space in the neck, kind of like that position we take in child's pose, with the spine just in a neutral position, shoulders away from the ears. And then when you're ready from here, let's come into our neutral down dog, creating that inverted V shape with the body. The hips lift to the sky, the heels release towards the earth. Breathe in and breathe out. Take one more deep breath in through the nose. And then let's exhale, gently set the knees back down onto the mat. If you'd like to stretch out through your wrists a little bit, you can even flip the palms of the hands out to face the sky. Maybe gently shift your weight forward, shift your weight back. You can do that a few times. And then when you're ready, let's go ahead and bring the palms of the hands back down onto the mat. The fingertips are facing towards the front side of the room. Move into our first spinal balance. When you're ready, inhale, lift the right arm in line with right shoulder. Exhale, extend the left leg to the back of your mat, and then inhale, lift that left leg gently off of the earth, bringing that left leg about in line with left hip. You make sure you're engaging through the core so that way you're not overarching through that low back. Instead, you should feel strength building up throughout the lower limb, throughout the core. Whenever you're ready, let's exhale, come back down to your tabletop position. We'll take that to the other side. Inhale, lift left arm in line with left ear. Exhale, extend the back right leg to the back edge of your mat. And inhale, gently lift that right leg off of the mat. And you think about drawing that navel up to the sky, in towards that spinal column. Remember to keep breathing. Whenever you're ready, exhale, come back down into your tabletop position. Let's plant toes in towards the mat. Inhale, lift the hips. Exhale, release the heels, down dog. When you're ready from here, make sure you're gripping the mat with all 10 fingers so that way the weight isn't in towards the wrist. We'll inhale to slowly lift that right leg up to the sky for three-legged dog. If that hamstring on that left leg is pretty tight still, you don't have to lower that right leg very high. Just about 6 feet, or a couple feet off the ground is a good place to be. Or you can move into your full range of motion if you're ready. Take a deep breath in, and let's exhale, step that right foot back down onto the mat. On your next inhale, we'll lift the left leg up towards the sky. Make sure that left thigh is pointed down towards the earth. Your left toes are curled in towards the shin. You're gripping them out with all 10 fingers, so that way you're not feeling a ton of tension in the wrists. And let's exhale, release left foot down to the mat. On your next inhale, slowly walk the feet in the hands, meet towards each other for our first forward fold. You can bend the knees as much as you'd like to ease that tension out of the low back. Let the belly rest on the thighs, and you can even rotate through the wrists if you're feeling a little fatigued today. Another great way to stretch out the wrists is you can press the back side of the hands together, opening the palms towards the sides of the room, gently interlacing the fingers here. Remember to keep breathing. Whenever you're ready, you can release all 10 fingertips down towards the mat. And then let's inhale, slowly roll up, finding our first halfway lift, creating that nice strong flat back. Hips pressed to the back side of the room. Your shoulders are gently away from the ears, kind of the head reaches towards the front. Whenever you're ready, let's exhale, back down into that forward fold, and then inhale, reverse swan dive, sweeping the fingertips all the way up towards the sky for our first extended mountain, bringing the biceps in line with the ears. Soften the shoulders down the length of the spine. From here, go ahead and take a steeple grip, interlacing the lower three fingers. Can you point the index fingers to the ceiling? Take a deep breath in at the center. Exhale, fold over gently to the left side of the room. Your shoulders and hips are square to the front. You can lift that chin away from the chest and breathe. When you're ready, we'll inhale to the center and exhale over to the opposite side, over to the right. Inhale to the center, and then from here, we're going to exhale, release our hands onto the small of the back, squeeze the elbows in towards the midline of the body so that way you feel that engagement through the shoulder blades. Take a deep breath in to lift the chin away from the chest. As you exhale, squeeze the glutes, use your core, move into a supported back bend to open the heart up to the sky. You can lift that chin away from the chest to open up through the throat. And when you're ready, gently lift back up, sweep the fingertips up overhead for extended mountain. Exhale, hands to heart center as you hinge to the hips, bend through the knees, moving into chair. Beautiful. So the upper body is inclined 45 degrees. Your weight is shifted in towards the heels, into the hips instead. Use your core strength here to maintain your balance. Whenever you're ready, take another deep breath in, and exhale, release into that forward fold. Let's plant all 10 fingertips in towards the mat. We'll step the left foot back, and then step the right foot back for our first high plank. You can always take your full planks here, or you can set the knees down onto the mat to maintain that neutral spinal alignment. We're going to keep opening up through the heart with some more back bend stretches. So when you're ready, inhale, lean that plank forward. Exhale, gently lower yourself all the way down onto the mat, keeping the palms of the hands about in line with the rib cage. Plant the tops of the feet into the earth. I want you to go ahead and start to engage through the quads so that way the tops of the feet stay planted, but the knees are hovering about half an inch off of the mat. Bring your gaze through your chin to the center of the mat. Gently rotate the shoulders down the length of the spine. Hug the elbows in towards the rib cage. And let's take a deep breath in to lift the head and heart off of the mat, finding baby cobra. There is almost no weight in the palms of the hands. If you prefer, you can even hover the palms of the hands off of the mat as well. Breathe in, and let's exhale. Bring one cheek to rest on the mat. Soften that tension out of the quads as well. Let's move into Sphinx next, just to find a little bit more engagement through the shoulders and to open up through that heart. So when you're ready, bring that chin to the center of your mat, and let's walk the forearms to rest down onto the mat. Spread all 10 fingertips nice and wide. Your elbows are about where the palms of the hands once were. You take a moment, start to engage through quads, rotate shoulders away from the ears. Take a deep breath in through the nose to gently peel the head and heart off the mat until your chest is about parallel to the front side of the room. Nice job. Nice steady breaths here. Let that energy flow forth from your heart, feeling the space around you. And then when you're ready, let's exhale, gently release all the way back down onto the mat, opposite cheek to rest. We're going to move into full cobra next. So when you are ready, bring the chin back to the center of the mat. Walk the palms of the hands underneath the shoulder blades. Hug the elbows in towards the ribcage. Soften shoulder blades away from the ears. Start to gently engage through the quads to hover the knees slightly off the mat. Take a deep breath in through the nose to gently lift the whole body off of the mat this time. The entire upper body is parallel to the front side of the room. You can stay here in full cobra, or we can turn this into up dog by bringing the thighs to elevate and hover off of the mat. When you're ready, plant the toes in towards the mat. Inhale, lift the hips to the sky. Exhale, soften that tension out of the knees. Soften that tension out of the heels for down dog, and pedal out the legs. Beautiful. And just take your time. Enjoy a moment in your down dog. Feel that weightlessness in the shoulders. Let the legs gently relax closer towards the mat. And we're going to move into pigeon next to open up through the hips. So whenever you're ready, take a deep breath in to lift that right leg up towards the sky. Find your three-legged dog to start. Breathe in, and on that next exhale, exhale, draw the right knee in towards the nose, set the right leg down onto the mat, tuck the right toes in towards that left hip crease, release the left knee to the mat, and then plant the top of the left foot in towards the mat. So your palms of the hands are about shoulder width apart. You can have a slight bend in the elbows. Try to avoid rolling over into this right leg. Instead, try to be centered directly in between the hips. And you can stay here on the palms of the hands today if this feels good, or you can exhale slowly down onto the forearms. We won't release all the way down to the mat. If you're letting the forearms rest on the mat, try to keep the elbows directly underneath the shoulders to maintain that 90-degree bend. And you should feel this gently opening up through that front right hip. If you have a little bit more range of motion, you can maybe wiggle that right shin a little bit more parallel to the front. Just try to avoid rolling over to that right leg though. We're staying nice and neutral here in the middle. You check in with the shoulders, make sure they're still drawn away from the ears. They're not hunching forward, and just let yourself breathe. Beautiful job, guys. From here, let's go ahead and walk the palms of the hands back onto the mat to gently press yourself back up to that starting position. We'll plant left toes into the mat. Inhale, lift that left knee off. Gather up that core strength to slowly lift the right leg back up to the sky. Three-legged dog. Exhale, release. Right foot down towards the mat. Down dog. Move through that to the left side now. Inhale to lift that left leg off of the mat. Draw your left heel to the sky. Breathe it out. Take another deep breath in. Exhale, draw left knee in towards the nose. Tuck that left toes in towards that right hip crease. Release right knee to the mat. And then top of the right foot in towards the mat. So try to avoid rolling over into that left hip. Make sure you're nice and neutral. You're in a comfortable position. And then if you would like to, you can release down onto the forearms. Just try to avoid punching out through the upper back. Instead of thinking about tucking the chin towards the chest, really think about maintaining that length and space for your neck. Opening up through the heart a little bit more. And if you find yourself tensing up through this hip to stay lifted, I want you to just take a moment. As you exhale, see if you can relax through those muscles on that left hip flexor. Exhale and get a little deeper, a little closer into the mat. When you're ready from here, let's walk the palms of the hands back onto the mat. Plant your right toes in towards the mat. Inhale, lift that right knee off. Again, gather up that core strength. Inhale, let's lift the left leg all the way up towards the sky. And exhale, down dog. We're gonna move into our first calf series. Inhale, move into high plank, or you can take that plank with the knees on the mat. Lean your plank slightly forward. Exhale, low plank, bending the elbows 90 degrees. Inhale for up dog or cobra. And exhale for down dog. Great job. Feel free to pedal out through the legs if they still feel a little tight. And then meet me in that steady center down dog. Nice deep breaths in. Steady exhales out. On your next inhale, let's walk, step, or float the feet up to meet the hands. Forward fold. So let's add a little bit of a shoulder opener here. So keeping that belly resting on the thighs, reaching the crown of the head towards the earth. I want you to sweep just the fingertips up to the sky. Make a fist with the palms of the hands and keeping the palms touching today. As you take that next breath in, gently extend the arms up to the ceiling. Nice job. You're going to feel the shoulder blades draw a little closer together. This is a great stretch to take if you find that you have a lot of tension in the upper back. You can even turn this into a grip with the steeple grip if that feels more comfortable. And remember to keep breathing, especially when we're inverted like this, when the head is lower than the heart. It's very important to keep breathing. We don't want anyone passing out. And from here, exhale, gently bend through the elbows, release that line, release all 10 fingertips in front of your toes. We're gonna add a little side body stretch in next, or a little twist actually. So take a deep breath in. As you exhale, walk the fingertips gently over towards the left side of the mat. Place your right hand on your left ankle. As you inhale, we'll lift left arm up towards the sky, opening your heart to the left side of the room. You can bend the knees as deep as you would like to, especially if you find that the hamstrings are pretty tense. Remember to keep breathing, and then exhale, release left hand down to left ankle. Let's walk the hands to the center, and then we'll walk the hands over to that right ankle. Bring your left hand to rest on right ankle. This time, inhale, lift right hand up to the sky, and a nice side little twist. And from here, exhale, release that right hand down towards the mat. Release all 10 fingertips in front of the toes. Inhale, let's ease that tension out. Find a halfway lift. Nice strong flat back. Keep the shoulders away from the ears. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, reverse swan dive. Keeping the fingertips all the way up towards the sky. And exhale, keeping the fingertips lifted. Hinge through the hips. Bend through the knees. Taking chair. Nice job. Check in with your balance. Make sure the knees aren't drawing out towards the sides of the room. Make sure the palms of the feet are resting flat on the mat. You can either keep the fingertips lifted or you can release hands to heart center. Take one more deep breath in. And as you exhale, let's release into our forward fold. From here, keeping your right foot rooted where it's at, take a deep breath in, exhale, step left foot all the way to the back edge of your mat for a runner's lunge. So your right knee is bent 90 degrees, back left heel is lifted, all 10 fingertips are framing that front right foot. You should find a lot of strength in that back left leg. Take a breath in. And when you're ready, we're going to exhale, release that left knee towards the mat. We're going to get a few quad stretches in today. So when you're ready, inhale, gently shift your weight forward to stretch and extend through this left thigh, stretching out through that left quad. When you're ready, you can exhale, walk the fingertips towards the back edge of your mat. Maybe soften the hips down towards the heels. Lift that right palm of the foot off the mat for a hamstring stretch on this right leg. So inhale, walk and shift your weight forward for a quad stretch on the left. Exhale, walk the hips back, hamstring stretch through the right. And just moving through this for about 2 more cycles. Inhale for that quad stretch. Exhale for that hamstring stretch. 1 more cycle. And exhale it back. Awesome job. Let's inhale. Come back up into our low lunge. From here, we're going to plant left toes back into the mat. Take a deep inhale in to lift that left knee off of the mat. We're going to work into warrior one today. So from here, pivot your back left foot at about a 45-degree angle. If this feels like a little bit too wide for your comfort, you're welcome to move that back left foot up about 2 to 3 feet. Make sure this front right knee is bent. From here, keeping the hips pointed down towards the mat. Inhale, slowly rise up to stand, lifting the fingertips up towards the sky for warrior one. So I'll come this way so you can see a different angle of warrior one. Your back left toes are pointed 45 degrees. Your shoulders and hips will be squared at the front here. That front right knee is bent 90 degrees. Fingertips are lifted towards the sky. And just let yourself breathe. Awesome job. Whenever you're ready, take a deep breath in. Exhale, release the fingertips down towards the mat and gently extend back through that back left leg for your runner's lunge. Awesome job. From here, let's go ahead and walk the hands over towards the left side of the room. We're going to move into a wide-legged forward fold. So go ahead and pigeon the toes towards each other. Shift your weight to the outer edges of the feet. The palms of the hands can stay resting on the mat underneath the shoulder blades. You can stay lifted to begin, and then as you feel more comfortable, you can exhale, soften through the elbows, release the crown of the head closer towards the mat, lift the hips higher up towards the sky. You should feel this stretching out through the hamstrings, the inner thighs, and by gently shifting your weight into the balls of the feet, you'll be able to release that crown of the head a little closer towards the mat and get even deeper into this asana. Palms of the hands can stay resting on the mat. If you'd like a little bit more of a stretch, you can reach those fingertips through in between the legs towards the back side of the room. Whenever you're ready from here, let's bring the palms of the hands back underneath the shoulder blades. Inhale, press up into the fingertips for a halfway lift, and then we'll walk the fingertips continuing over to the left until we can find our runner's lunge on the opposite side. So your back right leg is extended, your left knee is bent 90 degrees. Your palms of the hands are framing that front left foot. Breathe in through the nose. And as you exhale, release that back right knee to the mat. Plant the top of the right foot in towards the mat. And from here, inhale, shift into that quad stretch. As you exhale, you can walk the hips back towards that back right heel. Lift that left palm of the foot off of the mat for your hamstring stretch now. Inhale, walking forward for a quad stretch. Exhale, walk the hips back, hamstring stretch. Inhale, forward, stretch it out through that front side of your thigh. And then exhale, stretch it out to the back side of that left leg. One more time. Inhale, move it forward. And exhale, walk it back. And then from here, let's inhale, come back into your low lunge to start. This left knee bent 90 degrees. The fingertips and the palms of the hands are resting on the mat. Plant your right toes into the mat. Inhale, lift that right knee off of the mat. We're going to move into that warrior one to the side. So if you would like to, you can go ahead and step that back right foot up as you place that palm of the foot down at a 45-degree angle. Keep the hips gently pointed down towards the mat. The left knee is bent. Use your core strength to inhale. Rise up, warrior one to the opposite side. If you find yourself pivoting over towards the right side of the room, just take a moment, re-engage through the hips. Draw your hips towards the center of the room. You can even narrow the stance to make this a little bit more comfortable or a little bit more easy. And then when your hips are centered, your heart is centered, inhale, lift the fingertips back up towards the sky. Take another deep breath in. And then we'll exhale, gently release the palms of the hands to frame that front left foot. You can slide that right foot back a little bit more for your runner's lunge. And let's walk back into that wide-legged forward fold, bringing the hands to the inside of that left foot and then walking over towards your right until you're back into the center. Pigeon the big toes to face each other. Shift your weight into the outer edges of the feet and slightly into the balls of the feet. If you'd like to, you can stay here and halfway lift. If you feel pretty tight today, or you can slowly again exhale, release the crown of the head a little closer to the earth to help lift the hips a little higher to the sky. There is no weight to the palms of the hands. They're just there as a little balance support. You can also take any variation that you'd like to take. If you prefer letting the hands rest on the ankles, they can stretch through in between the legs. You can even take a little bind here, letting the fingertips interlace on the small of your neck to help stretch out any tension you feel in the neck today. Remember to keep breathing. And then whenever you're ready, release those fingertips to come underneath the shoulders, framing the crown of the head. Inhale, press up into the fingertips for a halfway lift, creating that nice strong flat back. And then let's walk the palms of the hands back to the front side of the room, back to our original starting position. Awesome job. From here, place the palms of the hands in towards the mat. Gently step that right foot back to meet the left. Find your high plank. Inhale, lean that plank forward. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, up dog. And we exhale, down dog. You pedal out through the legs if they're feeling a little tense, or enjoy finding your strength, finding a little bit more stability in that center down dog today. Continue to breathe in through the nose and out through the nose. One more deep breath in, and as you exhale, go ahead and release the knees down towards the mat, big toes to touch, press the hips back towards the heels, child's pose. You just let yourself soften and breathe here. If your shoulders are feeling tight, you can also turn this into embryo, reaching the hands towards the heels instead, just softening that tension out of the upper back, out of the shoulders. Let yourself find what feels good for you today on your mat. Take 2 more breaths here. And then whenever you're ready, bring the fingertips back to the front edge of the mat for those in embryo. And we'll all inhale, gently lift the hips off the heels, come back in to your tabletop position. Shoulders are stacked over the wrists, your knees are underneath the hip. Toes can either be tucked in towards the mat for a little more support, or you can keep the tops of the feet planted here. And from here, I want you to go ahead and take these next 3 breath cycles. Just find some movement in your body, whether that may be rounds of cows and cats. If you'd rather just shake out some tension out of the neck, whatever feels good today, or you can even stretch it out through the wrists again. Just breathing through whatever feels good for you. And then when you're ready, let's all meet back into our tabletop position. Awesome job. Let's plant the toes in towards the mat. Inhale, lift the hips, release the heels, down dog. From here, let's inhale, walk the feet up to meet the hands, forward fold. And then inhale, reverse swan dive, sweep the fingertips up towards the sky. Exhale, let's bring the hands to heart center. Let's move into a little bit more balance work now. Whenever you're ready, making sure the feet or hips are distance apart. Go ahead and start off with the hands at heart center. Let's begin to shift that weight over to the standing left leg. Whenever you're ready, we'll inhale, lift the right knee 90 degrees to the front side of the room for a stork. Sorry about that. Make sure the hips are in a neutral position. Breathe in through the nose and breathe out through the nose. From here, I want you to gently extend and press that right heel to the back side of the room. Release your right hand to wrap around the inner sole of that right foot. Bring the knees together for another little quad stretch. And then from here, inhale, can you release that right leg back 90 degrees in front of you for stork? And then exhale, set that right foot onto the mat. Let's take it to the other side. You can shake that tension out if you'd like. And then shift that weight over to the standing right leg. Inhale, we'll start off lifting left leg 90 degrees off of the mat. And again, checking in with those hips, making sure they're in a neutral position. Hands are at heart center. The left toes are curled in towards the shin. And then from here, exhale, gently pressing that left palm of the foot to the back side of the room. Bring your left hand and wrap around the inner sole of that left leg. Try not to open your hips too much to one side. You're standing up straight and tall in the center, stretching out through that quad. Draw the left heel a little closer to the glutes. And then gently release that left palm of the foot back to the front side of the room, bending through left knee, 90 degrees, stork. Awesome transition, guys. Exhale, set that left foot down towards the mat again. Shake out that tension in the opposite leg. All right, we're gonna move into a couple of different variations of some fun balance poses today. When you're ready, go ahead and shift the weight over to that standing left foot again to start. We'll first start by lifting right leg 90 degrees off of the mat when you're ready into stork. And from here, can you inhale, lift the fingertips up towards the sky. When you're ready, exhale, hollowing out through the upper body, bring all 10 fingertips to interlace underneath that right palm of the foot. You can just stay here in this basket weave grip if this feels good today. If you prefer, you can also take a moment, gather up that core strength, and as you inhale, extend that left palm, the right palm of the foot towards the front side of the room. You can keep your eyes drawn forward to help you steady out this balance. And from here, exhale, bend through that right knee. Let's inhale, lift back up into stork. And then again, press, that right foot to the back edge of your mat. Bring that right hand to wrap around the inner sole of that right foot directly into quad stretch. And then from here, gently release back into stork. And exhale, set right foot down towards the mat and shake out that tension out of that standing balancing leg. Awesome job. We're gonna do the same thing to the other side. So when you're ready, bring the feet hips distance apart. Shift your weight over to that standing right leg. We'll inhale, lift left leg 90 degrees off the mat, finding stork. When you feel good here, inhale, sweep the fingertips up towards the sky, biceps by the ears. Exhale, hollow out through the upper back, bring all 10 fingertips to interlace underneath that left palm of the foot. You can draw your gaze down towards the to make this a little feel, or to help you feel more grounded. You can stay here again. On that next inhale, you can extend that right palm of the foot towards the front side of the room. Sorry, left palm of the foot. Whenever you're ready, gently bend through that knee, and let's move directly into that quad stretch. And then from here, gently release out of that quad stretch. Bring the left foot back in front of you into stork. Exhale, set that left foot down towards the mat. Shake that tension out of that balancing leg. let's meet back in our Tadasana. From here, keeping hands at heart center, take a deep breath in through the nose. As you exhale, let's bend through the knees, moving into that chair. Awesome job. Try to see if you can lower the seat down another inch. Make sure you're not overarching through this low back. Instead, use your core strength to maintain your balance. Hands are at heart center. And from here, we'll inhale, rise back up into Tadasana. As you exhale, bend through the knees again. And this time, if you'd like to, add a little twist into your chair, twisting the body over towards the left side of the room. This right elbow is going to hang out in between both knees to start. When you're ready, we'll inhale, lift back up to the center. Exhale that breath out. Breathe in through the nose and then exhale. Hinge through the hips with the knees, twisting again over towards the left. This time that right knee or right elbow can stay in between the knees. Or if you'd like to get a little deeper, you can hook this right elbow around the outer edge of your left thigh. You can keep the hands at heart center as best as you can. This is a deep twist, so definitely listen to your body. Ease off when it's telling you to. Keep breathing, and when you're ready, inhale, untwist, come back to Tadasana. Exhale that breath away. Breathe in and breathe out. We're going to do that to the opposite side now. So I'll pivot this way just to make it a little easier to see. Breathe in through the nose. Exhale, hinge through the hips. Bend the knees. Take your chair to the center to start. Your hands are at heart center. Nice broad chest, open heart. Can you lower the seat another inch? And then let's inhale, rise up to stand. Exhale, release that breath away. From here, deep breath in through the nose. Exhale, hinge through the hips, bend the knees, gently twist over to the opposite side, should be your right side. You're gonna let this left elbow hang out in between the knees and try not to let the knees flare out. Think about drawing the knees in towards the midline. Your thumbs are directly in front of your sternum at heart center. And from here, inhale, untwisting, lifting, back up into Tadasana. Release that breath. Another deep breath in. Another exhale out. This time, breathe in through the nose. Exhale, hinge through the hips, bend through the knees. Again, twisting over towards the right. That left elbow can hang out in between the legs. Or if you'd like a little more challenge, you can work to hook that left elbow around the outer edge of that right thigh. Try to avoid drawing this left knee in front of the right. You want them both to be about parallel though. The hands are at heart center. And breathe. When you're ready from here, inhale, gently unwind, coming back into Tadasana. Exhale that breath away. Inhale, press the fingertips up towards the sky, and exhale, swan back down, forward fold. Let yourself relax and release here. You can take any bind that you would like to take. You can even also just reach for opposite elbow, and just maybe gently sway from side to side. Whenever you're ready, we'll let the fingertips come back down into the mat in your forward fold. Make sure the shoulders are away from the ears. And let's press all 10 fingertips in towards the mat. Inhale, step the left foot back, step the right foot back, finding high plank. Beautiful job. Use that core strength to maintain your balance here. And then let's finish off today with some side planks. We'll move that right hand to the center of your mat to start. Gently pivot the toes over towards the left. Inhale, lift that left hand up towards the sky. And if you would like to, you can go ahead and set that right knee down towards the mat for a supported side plank. You should feel your heart opening all the way over towards this right side of the room. If you'd like to try a little bit more of a challenge, you can even inhale, lift that left leg in line with left hip. Or you can always just take that traditional side plank here if you prefer. Nice job. Keep breathing. And when you're ready, exhale. Release left hand down towards the mat. Come to the center of your mat, and let's take that to the other side. Move left hand to the center of the mat. Pivot toes over towards the right. Inhale. Lift right hand up towards the sky. Or again, you can release left knee down towards the mat for supported side plank. You can try out something new by lifting that right leg in line with the right hip in this supported side plank. Or you can just enjoy that traditional side plank. Think about keeping that right fingertips in line with right ear. Your heart's open over towards the right side of the room. And then let's exhale, right hand down to the center of our mat. One last high plank. Inhale, lean your way forward. Exhale, release all the way down into the mat once again. You can release palms of the hands down by the hips. Maybe bend through the knees, drawing heels towards the ankle, or heels towards the glutes, and then let the legs fall to the left and over to the right. Nice deep belly breaths here. And then bring the opposite cheek to rest on the mat to gently stretch your neck out the other way. Whenever you're ready from here, bring the chin back to the center of your mat. Release the toes down the length of the mat. Beautiful job. Go ahead and bring the chin back to the center of your mat. Let's bring palms of the hands underneath the shoulder blades one more time. Keeping tops of the feet rooted. You can walk the feet a little closer in together. Rotate the shoulders back. Hug the elbows in towards the rib cage. Grip the mat with all 10 fingers. Inhale, lifting up either into baby cobra or full cobra, whatever feels good for you here at the end. So finishing off our practice just like we started today, a few more heart openers. Really think about softening that shoulder away from the ears. I don't want you to feel like you have to hunch the shoulders up towards the face. Instead, find a little bit more length and space in your neck and in your heart today. When you're ready, exhale, gently release down into the mat. We'll take one more variation. When you're ready, you can bring the chin to the center of your mat. You can either take any back bend variation you've already done, or if you'd like to move into half locust, go ahead and make a fist with the palms of the hands in the small of your back. And you engage a little bit more through the quads to hover the knees off of the mat. And as you exhale, extend the arms down the length of the back, really hugging shoulder blades together. If you prefer, you can even take a reverse steeple grip here, pointing the index fingers towards the back side of the room. Gather up your core strength. Take a deep breath in, exhale it out. And then on that next breath in, lift the head and heart off of the mat, and then lift the toes off of the mat. So that way you're just balancing on the belly, using your core strength here. Beautiful job. Deep breath in, deep breath out. One more breath in, and then exhale all the way down, soften into the mat. If you'd like to, you can also windshield wiper the legs again to one side and then the other. That low back felt any tension at all. Or you can just simply enjoy this time to breathe on your mat. Sometimes it's really nice to lay in this prone position, laying on the belly. So that way, as you're breathing in, you should be able to feel the back rise with your inhale and deflate with your exhale. And then from here, whenever you're ready, gently roll over onto the back, coming into a supine position. Once you have made it there, let's go ahead and take a full body stretch, bringing fingertips up towards the ears, pointing the toes away from the belly button. Breathe it in, and exhale, soften that tension out. One more inhale to lengthen, and exhale, release the hands down by the hips. Beautiful work today, guys. Go ahead and walk the palms of the feet onto the mat. Make sure your low back is lying completely flush into the mat. When you're ready, take an inhale, lift the right palm of the foot off of the earth, cross right ankle on top of left thigh. Use your right hand, gently press that right inner thigh away. Make sure your hips are both maintaining connection to the mat. Your low back is flush and supported. You can even soften the shoulder blades into the earth here. When you're ready, inhale, lift that left palm of the foot off of the mat, interlace all 10 fingers behind that left thigh, and using your biceps, draw that left knee closer in towards the heart. Use your right elbow to keep that right knee away from the body though. You can stay here, or if you'd like to add a little hamstring stretch, you can inhale, extend left leg up towards the sky, and maybe soften that tension out of the biceps, so that way that left leg is a little bit more in line with left hip. Beautiful work. Whenever you're ready, exhale, bend through left knee, and then release the left palm of the foot down to the mat, uncross that right leg back down onto the mat. Inhale, lift left palm of the foot off of the earth, cross left ankle on top of right thigh. Use your left hand, gently press that left knee away. You should feel that left hip flexor opening up just a little bit more. Make sure that low back is still laying gently flush into the mat. Soften that tension out of the shoulder blades. On that next breath in, lift the right palm of the foot off of the mat, bring all 10 fingertips to interlace behind right thigh, and then draw that right knee in closer to the body. Use your left elbow to keep that left knee away. If you'd like to add that hamstring stretch on your next inhale, you can gently extend right leg up towards the ceiling. Maybe release that tension out of the upper body, so that way that right leg can come a little bit more in line with your right hip. Try to keep all 10 toes flat, so that way we're protecting our knees and our ankles. And when you're ready, exhale, bend through that right leg. Set right palm of the foot back down towards the mat. Uncross left palm of the foot down towards the mat. Walk the heels a little closer in towards the glutes. Make sure the knees are about in line with the hips. Palms of the hands come to rest onto the mat. Soften the shoulder blades in towards the mat. And then inhale, squeeze through the glutes, lift the hips off of the earth. We're going to add a little shoulder bind today with our bridge pose. I want you to bring the palms of the hands to make a fist underneath the small of your back. You may need to rotate the shoulder blades a little closer together. And see how long, or see if we can maintain that fist while we hold our bridge. Breathe in through the nose, breathe out through the nose. There is no tension in that low back, so if that means you lower the hips down a little bit today, that's a great place to be. I want you to just take this time to enjoy this stretch. Feeling your heart lift to the sky. Feeling that strength in your glutes. And then when you're ready, maybe release that fist, let the palms of the hands come back down onto the mat. Exhale, soften the hips down into the earth. From here, inhale, lift the palms of the feet off of the mat, coming into a reverse tabletop position. And then gently extending the legs up towards the sky for legs up the wall. The palms of the feet can be flexed, or if you prefer, you can have a slight bend in the knees, the legs feel a little tight. The arms can either be down by the hips, or if you like, you can even open the arms in line with the shoulders. Palms of the hands can either be flipped towards the earth or up towards the sky. Let all that tension release out of your legs. Giving the low back a little extra support today. And then from here, gently release or reach the fingertips up towards the toes. Exhale, bend the knees in towards the shoulders. Reach the palms of the hands around the outer soles of the feet and gently sway from one side to the other for your happy baby. If you prefer, you can even use your peace fingers to wrap them around your big toes, and that feels better today. And then from here, I want you to take these next few moments to find any final stretches that you would like to take. Use this chance to listen to your body. Find what feels good for you today. Maybe that's a spinal twist. Maybe it's a supine pigeon. Legs up the wall again, whatever you want to do. This time is for you. If you know you're simply ready, your body feels ready, your mind feels ready, you can also just gently make your way into that supine position, getting ready for Shavasana instead. And then from wherever you are at, go ahead and slowly make your way into whatever position you would like to take for Shavasana today. If you'd like to take Shavasana with the knees bent, maybe you'd like to take it in bound angle or in that traditional supine position, just go ahead and let yourself relax into the mat. Soften that tension out of the low back, out of the shoulders, out of the neck, and out of the jaw. If you haven't done so already, go ahead and as you take that next exhale out, start to close down the eyes, shutting down that gate. And if you maintain that steady breath throughout your practice today, go ahead and start to release that even paced breath. Allow yourself to return to your own natural pattern of breathing. Gently inhaling, softly exhaling. Fingertips can either be flipped up towards the sky, or you can let the palms of the hands rest down towards the mat. Allow yourself this time just to find a little bit more comfort in your body, a little bit more comfort in your day. Listening to the ambient sounds of the room. Listening to the sound of your inhale and that gentle release with your exhale. See if you can start to quiet down the mind. Maybe start to release those thoughts away. And maybe taking just a moment, again, to thank yourself for your practice today. I know it can be hard to practice that gratefulness with ourselves, especially during this changing time, during this season. Just quietly in your mind, I want you to say thank you to yourself. I want you to thank your body. Just breathe in that grateful heart. Start to release any remaining thoughts from your mind. Check in with the jaw. Are you holding any tension there? Can you relax the entire jawline? Can you relax across the forehead? And let that sensation drift down to the fingertips and toes. Do you make your way into that meditative state of Shavasana today? You are welcome. Stay in your Shavasana. Meditate for as long as you would like to. For those who are ready, you can begin to wiggle the fingertips and gently wiggle the toes, bringing that life and sensation back into the mind, back into the body. So you can take a deep breath, breathing in for 1, 2, 3, take a little pause, and exhale, sigh that breath away. From here, allow yourself to roll over onto one side of the mat. Let the head rest in the crook of an elbow and enjoy these final moments of stillness, peace, and ease. Breathing in a feeling of joy, that feeling of contentment. Finding that lightness in your spirit here. When you're ready, you can gently allow yourself to come up into an easy seated position, letting one leg cross on top of the other. Letting your sit bones reconnect to the mat, letting palms of the hands come to rest onto the thighs. From here, we'll inhale, sweep our fingertips up to the sky, and exhale, bring your hands to heart center. Thank you so much for sharing in your practice with me today. And may that love and light and gratefulness continue to enter in through your heart. Let it lead and guide your actions through the rest of today and through the rest of your days. Namaste.